Hi guys. So, happy Thanksgiving first off. I want to talk to you guys today about my self-awareness journals. Um, there's a plastic cover here to protect the actual cover. It's pretty sturdy too. And then on the inside we have, of course, a letter, a note from myself, talking to you guys, thanking you guys for purchasing it. And then like a quote here, and they are copywritten. It's just that this is my personal copy. It's just that this one doesn't have the copyright on it. This is mine or whatnot. But I pretty much wanted to talk to you guys about this journal because I had a few people actually, they purchased them and then they reached out to me and they asked, or they were saying that they feel like they should keep this journal. Like, do they keep it for themselves or do they give it to their kid? And so I was like, hey, maybe I need to make a video on that. You know what I mean? So here I am. But I think that this self-awareness journal really is for anyone, because first off, it was created off of and from my curriculum that I actually teach within my program, and the curriculum that I've shared with the high school kids and I've shared with middle school students as well. And so, and I've gotten positive feedback on the curriculum, as well as a lot of engagement whenever I present this this self-awareness curriculum to the students, as well as engagement. And so to answer the question of, for the parents who feel like they really don't know if they should, they want to keep it for themselves, but they kind of want to give it to their kids or whatever. Really, honestly, like, and I like that the parents are pretty much like, do I, this is like good. Do I, keep it for myself? Like, I don't really want to give this up. It's me personally, I would say give it to, whether it's your kids, your grandkids, your niece, your nephew, or an adult. Give it to the person you feel like is really in need of self-awareness, that really needs to go on a self-awareness journey, because that ultimately is what this journal is about. For instance, like I said, some of this came from, it stimulated really from my curriculum that I created. And so, like, let me turn the light back off. And so there's questions here, like when you start this off, there's questions here, okay? And then I'm giving you like more room and space to write in between. This isn't a real big journal. I believe there's like 19 pages in here. And so it really isn't, a big journal or whatever, but it's a thought-provoking journal. And so, like, what I mean by that is, like, on pages 3 and 4, because that was 1 and 2 I just showed you, and then it had the blank spaces for you to write more notes for yourself or whatnot. And so, like, for instance, on page 4, I'm asking you, how will communicating your thoughts and concerns to others benefit you or another person? Okay, that's an important question to think about, especially if a person needs to communicate something that's going on with them. And I'm talking about any adult or any kid, and nowadays, as we know, our kids they're not talking, okay? They're committing suicide. And so to help prevent all of that, once it's at that point, Like, I am the prevention. This is more of a prevention mechanism. I think once it's at the point of a kid seriously, or an adult seriously thinking about taking their lives, that's more of intervention. Okay, This right here is at the prevention level. And so I know for me, and another reason why this journal was created is because I dealt with a lot of transitional challenges, you know, going on in my childhood from the age 3, you know, all the way up. Some of you guys know the story. I'm still dealing with transitional challenges, and you guys know the story as an adult, you know, the transitional challenges that I've dealt with, like just from December 2018 up to this point, like me dealing with the depression and the anxiety. I think that, and then while dealing with those things, I was actually creating not this journal, but I did say that a journal would be a part of my products, you know, the youth line product or whatnot for our youth. And so as I was creating the curriculum for Youth Led, which is part of it is in here, I was actually dealing with depression and anxiety, all of those things, you know, from, you know, the dramatic experience that I had just experienced. And so, you know, in December 2018, and then we get a few months later, the beginning of 2019 all the way up till about May is when I actually went out and tested the concept to what it was I was trying to put out there for our youth. And even that was successful when I, you know, tested it, raised the money to be able to get the supplies. Some of you guys know because you actually had donated to the cause and what it was that I was trying to do. You guys knew some of the things that I, you know, had been through, what I was going through, dealing with PTSD, a lot of it. And so when people ask, should they keep it for themselves or for the kids? I think that this journal is really for the person in your life that you feel like that could really benefit from it, because, you know, it starts off, let me see, the journal starts off with me asking, and this is what I do when I go into the classroom. Like, it literally starts off with me asking, without using the word self, explain self-awareness. Okay? That's usually a challenge for people to do, like even adults. Like, I've asked that question to the high school kids and to the middle school kids, and even the teachers have a challenge with explaining what self-awareness is without using the word self. And so, because it's thought-provoking, like really it is. I mean, it might be challenging because you want to say being aware of myself. No, only thing you've done was twisted it around. That's all you've done. You know, self-awareness runs long, it runs deep, is interconnected, you know, in everything we do, in everything that we are. Okay, and so that's, you know, it's thought-provoking. And so then I go into, and usually honestly what I'll do first is I'll ask the question in this here. I am fully aware, but I'll ask, are you fully aware, somewhat aware, or not aware at all? And then I've had kids that say, oh, I'm fully aware. I'm like, mostly I get somewhat aware. I've had the teachers say they're somewhat aware as well. And so I won't even hone in on the ones that's saying that they're somewhat aware, because they get it. They kind of get it, right? It's the ones that say, oh, I'm fully aware, okay? And say it proudly. And I'll ask them, why do you say that? Like, explain that to me, okay? And so they'll explain it to me, and they'll usually give me a pretty cool answer or whatnot until I dig a little bit deeper. Then it's, oh, I'm somewhat aware, you know? And so it's, like I said, it's thought-provoking. And then at the bottom, I have affirmations. Turn off the light. I have affirmations at the bottom of each, just about every page. And again, like I said, there is space to write in between each page before we move on to the next thing, okay? So So yeah. So to answer those questions, you know, and to kind of clear up some things, you know, I know a lot of people probably like, you know, oh, I want to get it, or they may be on the fence about getting it because they're not really sure what it is or what it's for or what to expect, and they may not want to spend their money before really knowing what this journal is all about. And so I hope that I have cleared up some confusion or some of your questions. And if you still have questions, my number 702-980-1678. You can email me, Miss D at youthled1.org. You can text me, you can DM me, you can message me, whatever it is. If you still have questions and you need more information or just have personal questions, even about Youth Led, you know, we're currently registering for our 5th graders that are going to be 6th graders so we can launch our program in August. Okay, and so in our program, we're actually going to be touching on having like reading workshops and mental wellness workshops, because although I can teach and talk about self-awareness and interpersonal awareness and self-advocacy and leadership, like to truly get into the depths of self-awareness or depression, anxiety, suicide, all of those things, brain development, that's when we have our workshops. We have mental wellness workshops where we bring in some professionals to really get deep into it and to help our kids communicate and talk things out the way they should and understand and know why it's important to communicate what's going on with them instead of holding that type of stuff in. And also we will be offering creative expression workshops and entrepreneurial workshops as well to start our little people off, you know, with planting the seed of, you know, you don't have to just get a job. You know, you can be an entrepreneur. You could think of something now and, you know, make that money before you have to start paying taxes or whatever, you know what I mean? So, but I hope I have cleared up everything when it comes to this journal. I hope everyone has an understanding of it. And again, if you don't, you can always feel free to contact me. Thank you guys. Bye for now.